Here is this is a pretty fun clip. Mehdi Hassan, who has been really making Sam Harris look foolish on Twitter, and in a way that is almost I wouldn't even say that.
He's like doing it during his breaks too.
It's crazy. Like Mehdi Hassan doesn't have enough to do. It's like one of those. It's like one of those guys like playing like a one man band. And he's just sort of like off, just on the side, like, oh, incidentally, bang.
But what if Mehdi Hassan wasn't employed? Then we'd be facing an entirely different set of circumstances for him owning me on Twitter. What if it was all of the time he had in the world because there was literally nothing else for him to do? We need to confront that thought experiment.
Here is Mehdi Hassan talking to the Israeli ambassador to the United Nations on the question of a two-state solution to deal with the Palestinian-Israeli conflict.
Do you support a two-state solution?
I support direct negotiations. What you want to do now is exactly what the Palestinians are trying to do for the last 71 years.
The Israeli government's formal position is a two-state solution. They claim, Prime Minister Netanyahu claims to support a two-state solution. Do you, his ambassador to the United Nations? Yes or no? Very simple.
I support.
Pause it. Now, understand how rude it is to ask a yes or no simple question whether this ambassador agrees with the stated policy of his prime minister. But because that is completely out of the bounds to ask a yes or no question.
Yeah, why is he being so mean to him?
Why is he trying to box him in? All right.
To the United Nations. Yes or no? Very simple.
I support direct negotiations.
Okay, but negotiations to what end? Do you support a two-state solution at the end of those negotiations, like the rest of the world, like your prime minister claims to? Yes or no?
I support to end the incitement and to have direct negotiations.
That's not what I asked, Danny Danon. I don't understand why it's so complicated to say, I do support a two-state solution, I don't support a two-state solution.
Maria, I tell you why. Because here at the UN, I'm used to countries mainly trying to come to the end of the conflict without having a dialogue. It's
your government's position, Ambassador Danon. I'm not putting words in your mouth. The Israeli government claims to support a two-state solution, but you clearly don't because you won't say so on this show.
It doesn't work that way. If you want to have any progress in the Middle East, the Palestinians should stop the incitement, stop the payments for terrorists, $500 million a year, and enter the room and negotiate with us directly. They can come to the UN.
They should negotiate with a person who doesn't say he supports a Palestinian state.
I mean, I am just so offended to see Mehdi Hassan ask this guy a yes or no question.
All right, let's not turn the Likud apartheid government segment into an entire Michael Tracy subtweet.
What? Projection. Wow, that hadn't even occurred to me.
I mean, it's funny. It's interesting.
Well, that guy, obviously, one guy's an ambassador to the UN and has a lot of constraints.
There's some stakes.
Another guy's an ambassador to some other place. I don't know.
Notable individuals.
To notable individuals, private notable individuals. I mean, I think that is the problem. If the two-state solution is not even a concession to that you can subscribe to publicly before you sit down with the Palestinians. I mean, I understand the constraints that might be on an ambassador, and you're getting into a negotiating situation. But either it is the policy of the Israeli government or it isn't. And if you make sitting down in negotiations a prerequisite to getting to the two-state solution, like that is, that's like, things are so bad, they've got to get a lot better until you just get to, or things are so bad, they got to get a lot better till they are horrible. That's basically what you're saying.
Why is he doing that? Do you guys have any insight?
I think the reason,
I think that's it. It's just like they don't want to concede anything.
But like,
Well, it's also-
why is the government even saying it supports a two-state solution?
That's the thing. I mean, I think Mehdi was being effective there and pitting him against Netanyahu, but it's not exactly like Netanyahu reversed himself formally during the last Israeli election himself. He said he didn't support two-state anymore. So it's and then he went back after the election. It's obviously a lie and pretend, but it's election time. And I don't know and especially as these new parties emerge, like even Likud still has like less, like 1% of like, let's pretend about this process, but the emergent right-wing parties are quite formal, like, no, we're not going to do this. So I don't know. Presumably he also everything Sam said, and also he probably has job plans after he's ambassador to the United States. Doesn't want to piss off his own future prospects.